So I can talk like I want to talk about the NBA draft lottery. Kenny Stubblefield, NBA draft lottery was Monday night. This is the first time that the draft lottery came, and I didn't know it was coming. Like I wouldn't
I forgot.
like. Yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot all about it. It's always been a kind of weird times, man. It used to be. It seemed like it was like conference finals
Yeah.
game one. They would always put it in,
Yeah.
but I might be wrong. But yeah, we got the NBA draft lottery. And Kenny, I put a poll out the day of the lottery, asking people your thoughts on the lottery. Right? Do you think that it's fixed? Do you think it's every year is fixed? Do you think they fix it when they need to? Or do you think that is, or do you not have a brain? Like that was the third option, right? There was no option allowed that allowed you to say that you
No.
didn't think that the draft was rigged, right? And then of course it played out. We saw that the Dallas Mavericks will have the number one overall pick in the NBA draft, followed by the San Antonio Spurs, who will be at 2. Kenny Stubblefield. The 76ers will be at 3, the Hornets at 4, the Jazz at 5, and the Washington Wizards, who had, I think, the worst record in the league. The worst record.
Was it them or
Washington Wizards.
was it Utah?
I'm not sure. Might have been Utah. But anyway, they
me-
are in 6.
Yeah.
I put a tweet out Monday morning as well, saying that I think that Cooper Flag is headed to Brooklyn. I've shared why I thought that would happen throughout the year, and I said if he doesn't go there, he's going to Dallas, and it happened.
So
He
you
went to
said Dallas. You said
Mhm.
Dallas.
I said I think he's going to Brooklyn, and that 1% is to Dallas, and I explained that the reason why, the whole Lakers thing, right?
Makes sense. Yeah.
And bro, I'm listening to the Gabe Coons of the world, the Christian Fowlers, and I'm just listening to the radio today, and people are just leading the conversation with, "Oh man, just the luck and the 1% ball," and
Come on.
everybody's just like, "Bro, cut the shit, bro!" Like this is the most rigged bullshit I've ever seen in the history of the NBA lottery, bro. Like, and I'm an NBA conspiracy theorist, bro. But it's like, and for the people who say that it's not a conspiracy, like, and people say, "Well, it's just coincidence," right? I'll throw this out to you. When does it not look like this? Like the only time you can say I don't think they do it every year. I think that on years that there's not a major player, they may do this whole little cool ping pong ball thing that y'all think they're doing. I think they may actually do it when there's Andrea Bagnani, who's the number one pick of the draft, right? Or
Anthony Bennett.
or years when there's a Risha Shea or what's the other kid that came from Washington, right? The big
Sarr.
last year.
Alex Sarr.
Yeah. Send them out east. I don't care. Just whatever. Like
Yeah.
I think they do that type of stuff with his guys who aren't just that big of a deal, right? But every year that it's been a major guy, like a big name dude who's coming out number one, it's been fun. It's been this weird coincidence that y'all speak of. Y'all cannot tell me of a regular ass year where it felt like it wasn't weird. Like that's the thing. That's to the people who keep back and say, "Oh no way, it is real. It's all coincidence." Okay, so you tell me it's a coincidence every time?
Yeah.
Every time, like Derrick Rose goes to Chicago and LeBron James goes to Cleveland.
Patrick
And
Ewing goes to New York.
And let's look at the footprint of the LeBron James stuff, bro. Just to dig deep into the conspiracy. LeBron James is coming out of high school is the biggest prospect of all time, right?
All time.
He goes to his hometown. He goes to his hometown. Get yourself this is also a guy that high school you might want to make sure he's in a friendly environment where he won't fail. Because we need this kid to succeed. We're not sending him to LA. We're not sending him to Chicago. Let him be where he'll be comfortable, right?
Right.
So LeBron James comes out. He goes to his hometown of Cleveland. And that also is going to speak to another theory, stimulus theory, the small market stimulus theory that I have. I'm going to talk about later on as far as this draft conspiracy that involves your Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah.
He goes there. He's the number one pick. He leaves Cleveland. The very next season, they get the number one pick in the draft, which ended up being Kyrie Irving. And then they got it for, I want to say, the next 3 years, Cleveland won the number one pick in the draft. And we're like, oh man, what luck? I'm like, come on, bro. Like,
let's not bury the lead on that. He left Cleveland to go to Miami to form the Heatles, right? To form one of the biggest, like in terms of
controversial moves in the history of sports for him to get
storylines around teaming up with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade. Like it it was really good for the bottom line of the NBA for them to get
Oh yeah,
together.
for sure. For sure. And then Cleveland is clearly compensated
Right.
through the lottery to get 3 number 1 picks in a row. If not 4. I want to say it was 3. I want to say it was Kyrie Irving and then Anthony Bennett and then Wiggins, right? And that was 3 years
Was
that
that
LeBron
in a
was
row?
gone.
Was that in a row? Was that in a row? Yes, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it wasn't in a row though. It was it 4 years they got it.
Let me see.
Let me pull it up.
Your number ones. This is really good podcasting. I should have done
Yeah,
this.
yeah, just dead air right here.
Yeah.
I'm just looking up draft lottery history. Yeah, really dead air. But yeah, for a while, Cleveland got the number 1 pick, man, for a long time. I want to say, I know it was at least 3 years in a row. I know it was at least 3 years in a row, right? And then LeBron, when he comes back to Cleveland, Cleveland gets the number 1 pick again, and that number 1 pick goes out to Minnesota to get Kevin Love to Cleveland, right?
It was Kyrie in 2011, Anthony
Mhm.
Bennett in 2013, Andrew
Mhm.
Wiggins 2014.
So it was 1 year off.
So it's
1 year they didn't get it.
2012 they didn't get it.
3 out of 4 seasons they got it. Who got it that year?
2012. Let me see. I'm fat fingering this thing.
Mhm.
NBA draft. It was Anthony Davis with the Pelicans.
Oh, thank you. So let's go into why that happened, right?
Let's go
Let's
there.
go into
Yeah.
that one. Anthony Davis was traded. No, the Chris Paul was traded from the Oklahoma City / New Orleans Hornets, Pelicans, whatever.
Right.
And the NBA took over that team that did not have an owner. They didn't have an owner. The NBA took over that team, right? The next year, the NBA's team gets the number 1 pick in the draft,
And gets Anthony Davis.
and they get Anthony Davis as compensation for Chris Paul leaving that team and them getting him to a major market with the Clippers. Come on, man! Like it's every time, bro. LeBron comes back, they get the number 1 pick again. That number 1 pick goes out to Minnesota,
right,
to get Kevin Love there. Take you back to Patrick Ewing, of course. The San Antonio Spurs getting David Robinson and Tim Duncan 2 years in a row. I'll take you back before then. The Orlando Magic expansion team. They get Shaquille O'Neal. They are 1 game away from the playoffs, and they make it. They were a 500 team. They make it. They get the number 2 pick. Then the number 1 pick 2 years in a row. An expansion team. After that, they start the rule where expansion teams can't do that. They can't get the number 1 pick. What's more of them? Anthony Davis, when he gets traded from the Pelicans to the Lakers,
right.
The Pelicans get it again in 2019. Who got the number 2 pick that year, Kenneth Stubblefield?
The Memphis Grizzlies
got it.
Yeah,
because they do some shit with the number 2 picks too, man.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Memphis Grizzlies got the number 2 pick that year. Why did they get the number 2 pick? And what's another reason why New Orleans got that pick? The year before that draft, Adam Silver began talks about expanding the league. He was getting kickback from the owners, saying, "Why are we talking about expanding the league when you got
the Grizzlies,
teams like Memphis, you got teams like New Orleans who are in small, struggling markets, right?"
Right.
That next summer, the 2 picks of the draft go to the teams with the worst, 2 of the worst odds to get it. The Memphis Grizzlies and the New Orleans Pelicans go 1 and 2. Your 2 smallest markets in the NBA get Zion Williamson and John Morant. And we did not expect Zion to be injured like this, but John Morant coming to Memphis probably saved the Grizzlies from being a team with a target on their back as far as getting up out of here. You know what I mean? Like for real.
Or moving a team. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we if you go back to where we were at that time, things were looking rough here in Memphis, man. And John Morant coming here definitely saved the whole situation. Like we said, Derrick Rose to Chicago, LeBron James to Cleveland, and these other things that we've shared. And I'm sorry, Victor Wembanyama going to San Antonio, a team that's known for international players, known for bigs. Greg Popovich is getting ready to retire. Let's slide over to the GM role. Come on, bro. It's all making sense. And don't think and they so slick with the whole Dallas thing.
Right.
They just slid the Spurs getting number 2 in on y'all ass. We didn't even.
Let's not forget. Let's not forget about that. Like what that means, right? The Spurs get the number 2 draft pick, which
it's so crazy, bro.
Let me ask you this: I sent this in the group text and you shot it down pretty quickly.
Yeah, I don't think none of that's gonna happen.
That's not a Giannis. That's not a Giannis
No.
asset. The number 2
Now
draft pick.
we're gonna talk Giannis in a minute. I forgot to give you that as a bullet point, but I guess we can talk about it now. But let me wrap up this whole draft thing.
Okay.
I got a couple things to talk about in this draft note because if you're gonna say it's a conspiracy theory, y'all got to get off Nico Harrison dick because you can't blame him for the deal when you're saying it's a conspiracy when it clearly was. There was the other part of the conspiracy was, hey, we're going to take Luka Doncic from you. Bro, I ain't gonna lie, man, because I hear people talk about this stuff, and I heard it on the radio today. I heard it in podcasts today. Like, bro, what part of people's brains looks at a deal where Luka Doncic got traded and nobody even knew he was available to get traded? Like, there's like this stealth Luka Doncic trade that happened at midnight, and like no teams even knew that he was even on the market. Bro, that should have been the red flag that some bullshit is coming, bro. Like, that should be the bullshit that Nico Harrison didn't do that on his own. Like, and they're doing this stuff like in plain sight, bro. Like they literally said, okay, LeBron's about to retire. And this is the part that people have to understand in my conspiracy brain, not just conspiracy brain, my common sense brain, right?
Right.
If you look at the whole Luka Doncic, why he went to LA thing, the San Antonio Spurs had a run where they were one of the best teams in the NBA. Kenny Stubblefield. During that run, they weren't an exciting team. The casual fan didn't want to see the San Antonio Spurs, but they were one of the best teams in the league. They beat the Heatles. They beat everybody. That team they were a really good team for a long time with Greg Popovich, right? What else was going on while those teams were good though, Kenny Stubblefield, that helped the NBA? Your best team is boring. So what else was going on?
I don't know.
You had Kobe Bryant in LA, who was Kobe, and you had LeBron James, who was one of the biggest stars in the world. It don't matter what market he's in, but you had these two mega stars that were also playing in your league alongside the San Antonio team that was very good. Right now, what do you have? The best teams in the league are the Boston Celtics, a team that plays ugly, shooting a bunch of 3-point basketball. Jason Tatum isn't that transcendent star like that. Even though they're in a big market, Jason Tatum isn't that big, super marketable star, right? You've got Oklahoma City Thunder, very good team. Nobody wants to see him. The Cleveland Cavaliers, very good team. Nobody wants to see him. Nobody wants to see the effing Indiana Pacers, right? The Knicks, they're always going to be good, which is another reason why they're not going to send a big star to New York because it's the waste of a big star. Because New York is going to blow up anything. Like that's a huge market. They don't need a big star there to get NBA eyes from New York, right? That's going to happen regardless. You don't have to send Zion Williamson there, right? You can throw Jalen Brunson there, and they'll love it, right? You know what I mean?
They'll turn him into a big star.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. You don't have to send the transcendent rookie there because he's going to be fine.
Right.
But what was I saying? Help me out. But now in today's NBA, LeBron's out the door, Steph's out the door, KD's out the door. I've got to get a Luka Doncic type player out of Dallas and get him to LA because even though these other teams are great teams, I got to have that mega star because New York is fine. They're a good team, so I got that thing figured out. I got to do something to keep LA. You know what I mean? Keep the Lakers. You know what I mean? So that's why Luka went there, and that's why Nico Harrison been talking plenty of shit because he knew they're gonna take care of me one way or another. Because either this team's gonna be good, and they're gonna still take care of me some type of way, or they're gonna give me the number 1 pick in the draft. And like, bro, what do you need to see to understand that that's exactly what happened the other night, bro? Like, I see people act like I saw Gabe Kuhn talk about this. I saw my guy Connor Dunning talk about this. Like, one side of me thinks like, bro, no side of me thinks that shit was legit, bro. And like, I've seen people talk about stuff like, well, I was in the room. This is what it got me. My boy Drew Hill was like, "Oh, I was in the room." And Mike Water, "Oh, I was there." First of all, nobody gives a damn that y'all were there, bro. You know where I was, Kenny Stubblefield, and I saw some other fake shit. A magic show. I was there, and I saw what I thought I saw. I didn't see, bro. Like, it didn't happen like that. They cut a lady in half,
but it looked real as hell.
It looked real as hell. Yeah. But that whole thing with the whole ping pong balls is something that could be easily rigged, bro. Like, it's a machine, bro. It's technology. Like this, it can easily be rigged, bro. Like, you can use magnets, you can use weighted balls or light ball or whatever. You can do whatever you got to do, bro. And like, if it ain't no bullshit to it, show us. Take us in the room. Let us see how it works.
They used to. They did.
Go ahead.
No, they did for a little bit, right? Like, they showed the ping pong process when it didn't matter, but now
Yeah.
now it
And
matters,
they know
right?
that if they show it, man, somebody's gonna slow that shit down and say, "Oh yeah, man, they're using this. Like this is
Yeah.
how they're maneuvering the balls. This is how they're doing all that."
Yeah.
That's why they're not showing you the whole process on TV, man. Because
Yeah.
people will get on their computers and slow that shit down, and they'll show look at how these balls are doing this, and look at how they're spinning now. Look at how these balls. People will find all the bullshit, bro.
Yeah.
But my guy Keith Parrish, I was listening to Chris Harrington today, and Keith Parrish probably came up with the easiest way um to kind of deal with the whole tanking thing and to deal with the whole whatever this is, and it's using a point system. Shout out to Keith Parrish. This is a dope idea to me. He said for your teams that don't make the playoffs, have a point system for where you get like a point every time you beat a team with a better record than you.
Oh.
So in that case, the teams that are good teams right on the edge of the playoffs, they're not going to get points because there are not many teams that can beat that are better than them. So their chances of winning are going to be at the bottom. Your bad teams who are occasionally beating teams better than them will be rewarded for playing quality games all throughout the season. Even though you're having a tough year, if you get those wins against teams that are better than you, your chances of getting that it's going to be good basketball. Plus, it's going to be ass teams, and the good teams really don't have a chance. They're going to be where they're supposed to be. So I think that's the dopest idea I've ever seen for this. But you know why that don't happen? Because the NBA can't control that.
You can't control that.
But they can tell you that we're the Wizard of Oz is back there doing ping pong ball games, and we'll tell y'all who gets to pick. Like, bro, it's so obvious that this is like bullshit, bro. It's like I don't really know what people need to see.